My name is Vitor Oliveira. I am a researcher and educator in urban morphology, working in the University of Porto. Urban morphology is the study of the physical form of cities and of the agents and processes shaping its transformation over time. The relevance of urban morphology is based on the fact that the way how we build and organize our cities has an impact on different aspects of our urban life. For instance, the way how we lay down our streets on the ground and how we erect our buildings has an influence on the amount of energy that we consume in transports and buildings, including in the latter the functions of heating, cooling, and lighting. If we think that the three main sectors responsible for our energy consumption are exactly transports and buildings and also industry, we start to realize the importance of understanding this phenomenon, particularly if we consider the pressing issue of climate change. Urban morphology is crucial for research and practice on cities. The science of urban form had its origins in the end of the 19th century in Central Europe, particularly in the works of urban geography. It had a golden age in the first 3 decades of the 20th century, and then it lost importance as urban functions and urban structures became the major concerns of urban geographers. In the second half of the 20th century, there were again innovative contributions to the study of urban form, stimulated by the activities of geographers and architects. Some of these individual contributions led to the development of approaches or schools of thought fed by an increasing number of researchers in different parts of the world. Nowadays, we can identify 4 dominant schools of thought in urban morphology, with their own theories, methods, and concepts to address the physical form of city, and as such, to impact on social, economic, and environmental issues. These approaches are spatial analysis, including, for instance, cellular automata, space syntax, the process typological approach, and the historical-geographical approach. While the EPUM project addresses the last 3, I will focus on the last one. The historical-geographical approach had its origins in the mid-20th century, in the work of the German geographer M.R.G. Cousin, particularly in his book on the small town of Annick. Based on the work of Cousin, Jeremy Whitehand, another geographer, started to build an effective school of thought. The foundation of the Urban Morphology Research Group in the University of Birmingham in 1974 was crucial for that purpose. What are the main characteristics of this school? What are the common aspects that it shares with other approaches? And what is specific of it? How does it deal with the physical form of cities? Is it only focused on description and explanation, or does it lead to prescription and action? The historical-geographical approach shares with space syntax a focus on the ground plan. While the latter is mainly concerned with streets, the former acknowledges the importance of plots and the block plans of buildings. With the process typological approach, it shares a focus on the building fabric, a comprehensive framework ranging from small to large-scale analysis, and a clear statement on the importance of history. With cellular automata, particularly with new methods of CA that deal with irregular cells, it shares an understanding of the plot as a minimum element of analysis. Let's focus on the historical-geographical approach. As the name suggests, it addresses the city through the historical-geographical structure of the urban landscape. To do so, it focuses on three elements of the urban landscape: the town plan, including streets, plots, and the block plans of buildings, the building fabric, and the land and building utilization. Perhaps most important, the school has developed a number of concepts to explain the process of urban development. I will focus on three of these concepts that, by their nature, also illustrate the capacity of this approach of moving from the large to the small scale analysis. The fringe belt concept draws on the acknowledgement that the process of growth of a city is not continuous. It is made of a series of outward expansions of the residential areas and of other very different areas, relatively open and vegetated, with a sparse street network, with large plots, and with a low building coverage. The second concept is the morphological region, an area that has a unit in respect of its form, that distinguishes it from surrounding areas. For Konzen, the climax of the analysis of the physical development of an urban area was this division into morphological regions. The last concept, the Burghers Cycle, focuses on the relationship between plots and the block plans of buildings, by addressing one type of plot, the burgage, and its life cycle. The historical-geographical approach has made significant contributions to our understanding of cities and has the potential to deepen it further. If we took just one of these concepts, the fringe belt, we can see how its relevance was made evident over the last decades, particularly through the work of Jeremy Whitehead. In research, by adding it an economic perspective in the 70s, by exploring it as a stage for social relations between different agents in the first decade of this century, and by addressing its ecological relevance in the last few years, and in practice, integrating it in the preparation of plans and using it for the urban landscape management, contributing for a more responsive transformation of our cities.